Good afternoon, Dupont Hill. This is Dan Bouchard, Keller Williams Capital Properties Associate Broker. Hoping you're doing well today and making the best of a dreary day, but making it productive anyways. I'd like to take a few moments to shout out to you all and pass on some information just to run through some issues that we're facing on a broker level and wanting to make sure that you understand and get to the best of the experience of others and not make the same mistakes. So just first off, let's go ahead and start out. Everybody needs to make sure that you understand that the GCAR contract is not compatible with the PG contract. So if you're going to be doing business in Maryland and you're going to use the GCAR contract, that's only applicable to Montgomery County. If you're going to be doing transactions in PG or other counties, you need to use the MAR contract and the appropriate addenda for that. Another issue that we're facing lately is earnest money. It's listing agents and buyer agents' responsibilities to make sure that the earnest money gets deposited according to the contract. And in the event that it does not get deposited according to the contract at the time frame of the contract, we really need to make sure that we notify all the parties and take appropriate actions otherwise. If we don't, it can become very costly for the individual agent involved. That goes for listing agents and buyer's agents as well. So make sure that you comply with that. Make sure that your clients are complying with that. Just to be another throw out, as assigned contracts are permissible in our negotiations when we're dealing with buyers and sellers, so long as we are dealing with the principal to the property. So if you're dealing with an owner who is engaging in a contract that has an as assigned entity attached to it, just understand that that's going to be a highly problematic transaction, and it's doable, it's fine, but you really need to have a lot of experience with dealing with these kinds of transactions, and if you don't, you really need to get some help. So feel free to reach out and I can help direct you to somebody that can guide you through the process a little bit better. But as assigns contracts are inherently problematic. We cannot do as assigns situations if we don't have a party in the transaction that actually has tangible rights to the property. So we can't represent an assignee in the transaction, but we can represent the seller and the buyer, the contract seller and the buyer. Bright off MLS policy fines are beginning to happen, so I'd like to make sure that we are staying up to date with that. Bright has put out a series of webinar videos, and I'd be happy to send those to you if you're looking for those. Make sure that you listen through those webinars and stay up to date with the information that's contained in those. They'll be attached to the email that this video is attached to as well, so you'll be able to track down those. Property showings in Maryland, make sure whether you're doing buyers or you're doing tenants for rentals. If you do not have a buyer or tenant agency agreement with those people, you need to make sure that they have the who does the agent represent, understanding whom the agent represents form. That's vitally important. We're getting a lot of reports of a lot of agents who are not complying with this, and so we need to make sure that everybody is using that form. If you do not have a buyer tenant agency form, obviously we would prefer to see you having those agency forms, and make sure you have that discussion with those folks who you're working with, that they understand that in the absence of a buyer agency agreement, you are representing the other side. So feel free to get back to me on that if you have any questions. Bright continues to update those policies on through their emails on a regular basis, so keep your eye out in your email basket for that. Also wanted to welcome you all. Starting March 14th on Saturday from 8 in the morning to 5 p.m., we are rolling out the KWCP Let's Go training curriculum for new agents. That's going to be for first-time licensees and other new agents who are interested in participating. There is an Eventbrite link that I'll be including in the email that this video is attached to. If you're interested in attending that, it's an 8-hour curriculum, and it is designed to immersing you as a new agent or an experienced agent in the contract terms and understanding where contract obligations lie and the implications for certain actions in the contracts. That'll be buyer agency, seller agency, listing agency, and contracts, as well as various addenda that we normally encounter. So just wanted to throw some things out at you. We look forward to receiving an email like a video like this sometime in the future, and we will look to try to communicate more effectively broker-related issues. And as always, I'm always available to help you with your transactions. Feel free to get back in touch with me. The phone number is 202-309-2339, and the email is dbouchard, BOUCHARD, at kwcapitalproperties.com. Thanks, and looking forward to talking to you again. See ya.